So it is that idea that we need to that have to play on our mind. Okay, so these are some of the services that are network related in Azure. So number one, we have the virtual network itself. So where you create a logic associated section. So for example, when somebody says we want to create a private cloud, that word private cloud, they are basically telling you we want to create our own virtual network. So now see this virtual network as a network of an organization. Okay, so network of an organization. So you know, within your network as an organization, you have all your resources. I mean those physical network.
Okay.
So other resources is load balancer. Education load balancer, very simple. It distributes incoming traffic among backend virtual machines. Okay, so I might need to draw, so which means you might have to pay attention. So let me. Okay, let me use Sniper.
Uh-oh.
No, not Sniper. Paint. Let me use paint. So can you see the white background?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to. Okay, just a minute. So I'm trying to explain this concept to you, sir, where you have your virtual network, your load balance, and any other one. So now, let's start with this black color. So now see this as your virtual network. See it as a compound, the whole on premises, right?
Okay.
So this is a VNet. Okay. So anything tó bá ti sínú network yìí kò sínú ibi iṣẹ́ wa, kò sínú organization wa. So ti ṣe ń
Yeah.
So let's just have it at the back of our mind like that. So now, inside these VNets, just a minute. Okay. Okay, so like I said, your virtual network is like the boundary of everything, like the compound for the company, right?
Okay.
So you should know that everything must be inside the compound. that represents that company. So
Yes.
So now you can now have what we call subnets. That is, this network is very big, right? You can decide to break the network. Let's say, let's break it into 4. If you break it into 4, it will be like this, right? So we can say if this is the front door, this will be the back, Abi.
Yes.
So here we can put Alisope back end, Abi. So which means that tó ní back end nísìn a lè fi database síbà. Database server, right?
Okay.
But ibi máa jẹ́ front end. So this machine máa jẹ́ a kàn ń create kankan hypothetically ni o. Web server.
Web server.
Right? Okay, a lè sọ pé admin, kí la mean by admin, àwọn administrative department ni mo mean o. Then they will now have, of course, kí làwọn admin fẹ́ lò ju virtual machine lọ.
Virtual machine.
Yeah, so just for them to be working. Then here, let's say we have sales and marketing or operations. Okay, let's call this operations. Ops. So operations, they might have a lot of, they might have, application server. Do you remember?
Yes.
App. You might have another. Wọ́n
lè ní virtual machine náà. Wọ́n lè ní, ó yẹ kó lè ní web server too now.
Okay. Probably for internal purpose. Okay. So there are a lot of resources. So anybody coming from the internet, this is internet, INT. Abi? Anybody coming from internet can talk directly to this guy. But there cannot be any direct communication to this guy.
Okay.
Do you understand now?
Yes.
So it means that it is only this guy that can talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then this web can talk to this app. This can talk to themselves.
App can talk to it. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Then look at this. I'm using 2R as in MORO. Arrowhead.
Yeah.
See it as two-way communication. That is, Web can talk to app can talk to web.
App can talk to web.
So see this one too as two-way communication. SQL Server can talk to this. This one can talk to web. But look at this. Is this two-way communication?
Which one?
The SQL and the web to allocate.
No, just one way direction now.
Just one way direction. So it means that it is the web that can talk to the SQL. The
SQL cannot talk to the web.
So what I'm calling is there are a lot of concepts about machine data. Of course, one way or the other, we don't
channel
want
to be opened.
one way or the other. Look at this now. You understand what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, concept okay, Mumaya. Okay, so now. So that concept, making so that okay. Like people I remember that can yes. Again, yeah, right. Let's say this is, let's say we have another app server. Then we have another one. SQL. So, eraser the manage eraser.
It's on here. Very yellow.
Empty. Okay, so now let's assume that from the internet there's a request. And a lot of requests. But don't forget that this web only can only talk that can talk to this backend, right?
Okay.
So now you now need a service here, but it's within the within the network.
Okay.
It's within the network. So it's called LB. So this traffic will now go like this to this guy. And then this guy will do something like this. So this is your load balancer. I don't know if so. Screenshot this so that So let's get do you have the faint idea of what I'm trying to do now?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of requests coming from the internet or from anywhere. Well, all these requests are sent to load balancer. So he distributes the traffic in order to, so if somebody needs to retrieve their username and password, username and password is kept in a database.
Yes.
To speak, it was day by day load balancer. If these two are working on a splitter. So why this one is busy, and the next request, the other request, do you understand what I mean? So so in Azure, we draw a lot. So they call it architecture, and that's why you see a lot of diagram. So when we get to those diagrams, we won't be
networking and Shiba.
yes, we are doing networking now.
Full diagram topic.
Networking. So so we also have load balancer, then we have application gateway, scalable layer 7 load balancer, offering various traffic routing rules. Then one a bit cheaper. Then we have virtual network gateway. Now this concept, virtual network gateway, is something you should also understand. Now, now see your virtual network now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So this building, so this is your on-prem. Right? Your physical data center, the one inside your building, right? With your 100 laptops. So you already have an internal network. Hope you know. Because as an organization, you still have a network. But you're also trying to move to Azure. So let's assume that this is the exact architecture of what you have here, as in COKE. You understand? But at the same time, you just want you still want your Azure to be communicating directly to your local distance. So at the edge here, at the edge of your network here, at this edge, there's something you will put here called they call it virtual network gateway.
Okay.
Gateway. Of course, from the meaning of the word gateway is something that allows you to pass. So your virtual network, we have its own virtual network gateway. So this gateway will talk directly to, it will create something like a pipe. Because it's a form of VPN. You know VPN now? It's a form of VPN. It's like a VPN. It creates a pipe. So there will be a gateway client here. There will be a gateway client here. So Yes. So that these machines that are here will be talking to these people here as if they are inside here. So that's what your gateway, that's what it does. So your virtual one is wide area network. So
Please, can you slow down a little bit? I want
okay.
to take the snapshot of the one you have explained.
Maybe take a snapshot of this.
No, the one up before this. The explanation from all those virtual network and school.
You want to start from here?
From the top.
Oh, need just
Okay.
I'm not worry. I'll be the one to tell you what to snapshots. Don't worry, I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You see this one. Now, implementation. An Azure virtual network is a representation of your own network. Shetty, a representation of your own network. So let's assume this is how your network look like within this physical building, whereby you have 4 subnets. Remember that we broke this into subnets, and we have 4 subnets here. So it's the logical isolation of the Azure cloud dedicated to your subscription. So you can use virtual network to provision and manage virtual private network. So what does this mean? Virtual private network, that is VPN. Share the VPN here.
Yeah.
To provision VPN. Only from this gateway down to this place, it becomes a private tunnel for you, for that company and the Azure cloud. Let's get. That's how your VPN works. Okay.
Yeah.
So, of course, provision and manage your virtual private network VPN in Azure. Optionally link to VNet with other VNet in Azure. So that VPN, they link it to your local network. Okay, or you can also link into your on-premises IT infrastructure, just like I've shown you the diagram. So this automatically creates what we call an hybrid or cross-premises solutions. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So now, his own cider. Now this is where it's getting harder. You must understand what a cider block is.
Cider block is the range of your what do they call it now? The range of your IP, right?
Yeah. So that means you must know this thing before.
Hmm?
That means you know this thing before.
Yeah, I told you I did AWS little.
Okay. So if that is the case,
No, that's not the
I will,
case. So, which one is the case? You better teach me like I
okay.
don't know anything.
Yeah, I will teach you. Don't worry, I'll teach you. So each virtual network creates its own cider blocks and can be linked to other VNets on-premises network if the cider block do not overlap. Do not overlap. Don't worry, I will explain everything to you. You also have control of your DNS server setting for your virtual network, segmentation of your virtual network into subnets. Okay, now this is, what is your cider? Your cider is your inter-domain. Just a screenshot.
Mm, no,
Screenshot.
but I'm shocked the first one. Yeah. I've not done this with the
So
on-prem.
that's because I want to clear it.
You can clear it.
Okay. So now once you look at CIDR, classless inter-domain routing. So basically, you are used to when you see an IP address like 192.168.0.0/24. Do you know what this means?
No.
Okay. So this is where it gets well. Okay, so basically see them as different octets. You know what an octet is? Something that have eight
shape.
No. Yes, but I contain like 8. They are in group of 8 instead of 10. So your decimal is 10. Your decimal is 10. Your hexagon is 6, right? So octet are grouped in 8. So now your IP is designed in a way that in a human readable form, so that when you look at it, you can say this is 192.168.0.0, right? But in the actual sense, sir, your IP is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you understand that now? You can see that it's also divided into.
It's what?
So now we say your IP address is designed as they call this model as dotted. How do I even notation? How do I? There's a perfect name we call this. What's up? I'm learning this. See octet notation or what? So that I can give you the correct name. They should not see me and not read it out. We should call them.
Octet notation on. Dotted quad.
No, only YORUBA. Which is apparently this one. Okay. but it's something around this name. Something around this name. So hello.
I'm here.
So the idea is this: is to say, um, is to say, how do I put this down? Okay, we have why am I showing the shit? Why is it fine? We have 7. Okay, don't let me go into that. Let me just go into something that's so easy for you. So basically, there's a way we now convert this number now. This number, we convert it to binary. You know, this number they are in decimal. That is, they are in group of 10. So, okay, our normal human being, the way we understand this thing is 0 to 9, which is 1 to 10, 1 to 10. So, but there's a way we can convert this number back to binary, because this is binary. This is binary, right? So the idea of this is on and off. So anywhere you see 1, your 1 is on. Anywhere you see 0 is off.
It's off.
You understand? Anywhere you see 0 is off. But the way this octet is arranged,
yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Maybe it's network. This one? Yeah, I'm using this. Some of this, yeah. Abi, profit to disappear. Uncle Alpha, Shawa.
On trial.
Then car we shan't share bill. Oh, prospect well. My gist into bad deal, my pain.
Me myself, she kàwé àti ṣe nǹkan kan tó le.
I know, but what I'm saying is just look forward to Kenya Shako positive.
Yeah, sure. In Jackpa, Texas, yeah.
Jao. Jao.
Ìwò já lọ Texas o.
Ṣé ẹ lọ lóòótọ́ ni?
Èmi máa ríṣẹ́ síbẹ̀ ṣé mi ní lọ ni.
Ẹ lọ o. Ó dẹ̀ dàbí pé àwọn iṣẹ́ yìí pọ̀ gan Texas yẹn.
Ó pọ̀ gan Texas gan.
Tí bá apply báyìí, Texas ni mò ń rí. Ní kí ló dé? Ṣé màá ń
Texas. I'm back again.
Dami, are you trying to steal my money?
Bàbá kan bẹ̀.
Owó wà jàre. Máa sáré.
Mo mà l'accident.
Ẹ má gbé má bínú. Last ìjọ wo ni mo fẹ́ bá yín ṣe kíláàsì tó wá náà wọn ò padà ṣe Boy, wo. Orí mi ò báyìí. Báwo wà ní bọ́? Ìgbà tó tún wá sọ fún mi pé díẹ̀ ni. So I was not thinking bóyá kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó pọ̀ pé díẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ mọ̀ bóyá ìgbà wájú orí mọ́tò Fọládàra náà gbà kan.
Ó pọ̀ bàgbó. Ó fi gbogbo white off ní mọ́tò mi. Ó tóbi tó jẹ́ pé.
Níbo ni?
270. Gettysburg.
Long. Ṣé lálẹ́ ni?
2 a.m. òru ni. Mo ń bọ̀ láti fi ṣe.
Òru ni mo fẹ́ pè pé òru lálẹ́. Àsìkò tó máa ń bọ̀ ta ni ẹni.
Adétọ̀ holder, condenser, everything, front bump, everything. Wájú, master pictures.
Ṣé insurance ń cover ṣá?
Kò cover o.
Wow.
Mọ́tò yẹn ìgbà tí mo ti ní first accident yẹn, ó ti gbé insurance mi lọ sókè, so mo kí mo ra ilé cash ni about this one ni.
So ẹ ṣe full coverage.
Mi ṣe full coverage. Èmi gan fúnra mi wọ́n sanwó rental sí báyìí, mo ti ná almost 800 yín sí lẹ́nu.
What?
I'm looking to get another one, Sha.
Ọmọ. Kí lè máa ṣe sí mọ́tò yẹn báyìí?
Nàìjíríà ló ń lọ yẹn.
Mo fẹ́
Ó tẹ̀lé ọ̀kan tí mo ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ convert wájú ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni ló máa gba 600,000. Mo fẹ́ gbé ọmọ conversion tó máa ṣe sí Nàìjíríà yẹn. Tó wá gbé 2021, 20 kìíní kan síwájú mọ́tò. Wọ́n ní mo fẹ́ ṣe fún tẹ́lẹ̀ pé tí bá ti ra mú. Dẹ̀ wá wo ọjọ́ Monday. Ọjọ́ Monday mo lọ síbi kan, mo lọ rí mọ́tò kan BM tí wọ́n tún fẹ́ ra BMX5. I saw it. Wọ́n á lọ síbẹ̀. Ẹni wá sọ pé BM is not a joking matter. Pé with the price and everything with my credit score pé it's gonna be very high. Pé so kí lọ fún credit kí lọ work on my credit for like 3 months kí n padà wá.
Then come back.
When you cut anyway tí bá lọ pé wáyé pé BM mo sọ pé mo fẹ́ rà. Because it's a European sport.
Cost of kìíní ẹ̀ náà. Ṣé wọ́n ti bẹ́ẹ̀sì mi? Ó dára service maintenance kò wá ṣe
kẹ́kẹ́. Fàájìká náà ni.
Ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan yẹn.
But fortunately, ká mo rí BM yẹn rà ní BM máa wà lọ́jọ́ yẹn. Wọ́n ní màá wà lálẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn. Because I went there on Monday. I had the accident 2 a.m. ní àárọ̀ Wednesday.
Wow, crazy.
Ọmọ máa ké o.
No, see, pé àwọn situation kan máa ń wà tẹ́ pé as in ẹ mọ̀ pé is it sometimes last year during May? No, not May. Towards the end of the year ṣá, before mọ́tò tí mo ń lò yìí, mọ́tò mi kọ́ dédé kò wọ gear, ó máa kò ń reverse, ó máa ń wọ drive nìkan. So tí bá lọ bí iṣẹ́ tí mo park sí parking lot, tí bá fẹ́ reverse bọ́ta pé mo ń lọlé, ó máa ń dùnkù fún mi. So at some point, mo ṣàgbé lọ, wọ́n ní transistor, wọ́n pe gbogbo, I was like, mo pé ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò le, tó bá ti ń pe gbogbo owó yẹn fún mi, the next thing I always think about my car is Èkó yá. Kí gbé lọ sí Èkó kí lọ́ta. Bó ṣe ti rí, for that 1 week, 2 weeks that I was careless. Ẹ̀rù bóyá àìsàn ńlá kan ṣe mí ni.
Àìsàn wo?
As in, I was, because everybody love Fọládàra, everybody. It was as if I was sick. I was sad. I was depressed. All in the name of motto. Until and I'm like, normally me like give my like shake note and everything. So I was like, we shan't share me like period the young time to move a motto to blah blah like that. The motto to one garage we shall but I'm all in Lutan being now state tower you go just state tell live without that car, your own personal car.
I'm telling you.
It's crazy. Oh no, me gba Toyota lọ ewo mo in fact me ò know yẹn kò pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ mi mo pe ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan ni wípé just see I need car lane I cannot do it again.
Tí mo ní kó bá mi ra mọ́tò in fact option mo ti ní kó bá mi wá kó sì bá mi wá kékeré kan because tí ò bá ti bá mi rí báyìí máa lọ gbé bẹ́jẹ́ Camry máa lọ gbé Camry 2013 for now.
I know how you feel as in last year ó ní kí ló dé.
Rental ti fẹ́ finish mi $67 per hour ní
tó bá jẹ́
FID
ni tó ṣẹ̀ dé ìlú yìí tí ò ní mọ́tò ó lè rò pé okay is a normal okay but after that one live for a very long time we have a lot of things doing in a day báwo la ṣe fẹ́ live.
They tell you, easy, my sister.
It was no, so I understand. I know èmi náà mo máa débi ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ máa wá kákó èyí tí mo tẹ colleague mi tàjọ ṣe lórí mọ́tò yìí náà wọ́n ní kò lè yí ẹ̀ mo ní
mo fẹ́ lọ bá man tó máa bá mi ṣífù báyìí pé kó tiẹ̀ wá mi tiẹ̀ tí lówó ná torí pé máa tiẹ̀ lọ gbé sọ́dọ̀ kí tiẹ̀ máa san space because very soon wọ́n máa tó ẹnì compound mi wọ́n á ti pẹ́ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ sí wọ́n máa tó ẹ̀ sí wọ́n máa sọ pé abandon car ni. Mo máa wáwó máa pè é sí pé mo fẹ́ wá drop mọ́tò kan sí compound ẹ̀ pé máa gbé lọ later ó yà títí June or July ending.
The funniest thing enterprise jẹ́ mi ní kí ló máa ń pè rẹ́ńtà látijọ́ yìí tá a lọ gbà. Kí ló máa ń pè insurance wa èèyàn kan gbá mọ́tò that day mi so insurance wọ́n ṣe send the check gan lẹ́nu so ọ̀sán property damage then ọdẹ bá búkù rental náà ní enterprise pé kó lọ gbé bóyá ohun tí ẹ ráyè kó tí ẹ lọ gbé kó tí ẹ lọ gbà confirmation gbogbo ẹgọ dẹ wà lórí fóònù. Oh my skates here.
I'm telling you $97 ni mo ń san lórí in fact mo ti lọ extend the Saturday
mo ní boy kan níbi iṣẹ́ mi nítorí situation tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yìí ibi iṣẹ́ ló máa ń sùn sí nítorí ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́tò kò sí mọ́tò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rọ náà ó náà wọ́n lè máa níbo ló ti fẹ́ rí adúrú owó yẹn tó máa sọ fún rentals díjọ́ wo so ó máa ń sùn síbi iṣẹ́ ó wà on shift kò sí wà on shift tó Monday to Friday mo wà níbi iṣẹ́ the Saturday àwa lọ lé ọkọ má lọ.
ká ní pé iṣẹ́ kan ni mo ṣe mi ní ṣe rẹ̀.
Bọ̀ èyí tẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ bí mi God I know how you feel.
Ọmọ wá mú fast ẹni tó bá mi wá mọ́tò ẹ̀ mo fẹ́ pè pa ó ní kí ló dé ṣé o gba kíndìn mi dání èyí tó gbà dání kíndìn mi lọ. Ó yá sọ̀rọ̀ ní ọ̀gá.
Parí chit-chat náà so that you have enough to catch up with. Okay, so now this is how we convert 256 to binary.
Sọ́gọ̀ orí ọmọ yẹn máa sọ́gọ̀ orí ẹ̀ o máa ràn jùmọ̀ mi láti kékeré ẹ̀ ni.
Because the binary is in base 2, right?
Okay.
Binary is base 2. So when you divide 256 by 2, you get this value. The remainder is 0. So you divide the remaining, you get this. You divide the remaining, you get this. Up until here. And then the value of 256 is this. Because what's okay by 10000000000. So now, if 192 no level divide, that's how you get. That's how you also get it. If it is 192. Oh, sorry. If it is 192. So that's how you also get it. So if let's assume that I want to divide by 192 192 in binary. So my 192 is this. So now you have 2 ones.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check with 0 mẹ́fà ló wà ńbẹ̀. Then 1 méjì. So you can see the reason. So if you have 192, you divide it by 2, you get this. Divide the 90 by this, you get this. You get this by 2, you get this. Up until when you get to 6, When you divide your 6 by 2, you have 3. So there's one remainder 1. Then you divide this by 1, you divide it by 0. So the back Kalosoke Ben, you now have 1 0 0 0 0. So now, if I should come back here now, let me erase all of this so that I can. So about me understand the objection wise. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right?
Okay.
So we'll do that for
168 as well.
168 now. So I say 168 in binary. If I say 168 in binary, this is the value. So I repeat 8 not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So how did we arrive? Because it's binary, you divide this by 2, you have 84. So nothing is remaining. You have divided by 2, you have 42, nothing is remaining. Maybe they are simple procedure. All of this because you are learning IPO. So then you divide this by 221, nothing is remaining. You divide this by 2, you have 10, then remaining. Then blah 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 blah. So you now have 1 0 1 0.
1 0 1 1 0 1 0
1 0 1. So you understand? So that's it's like 10 10 1000, something like that. Abi 10 10 1000. 10 10 1000. So so this will now be 10 10 1000. Of course, all these ones are 0 0 0 0 0. So whatever anything to the value by Jensen, we also provide it here, right?
Okay.
But that is one aspect of this. But this is where we are going to. You should not forget CIDR. So your CIDR is the moment they introduce this slide like this. It's about IP. What we enter a technology called variable length, VLSM. What we enter technology to open a variable length subnet masking. Variable length subnet masking, whereby you create a subnet and you say, oh, this IP is a class C address, and you say this is 255.255.255.0. So now you are no more using this one now. You are no more using this now. We are not going to be using this one. Why? Because of /24. So Q1 is /24. So this /24 is saying Actually, gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń wò ń bí báyìí. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń wò ń bí báyìí. Tí mo fi sí green bracket yìí.
Yeah.
It's just a name. You know, normally it's an IP. But it's just a name representation of an IP. For example, you have an hotel called local business hotel, Akimakesta.
Okay.
Signpost or something that would tell me that this hotel is for Akimakesta.
Akimakesta.
So now see everything here as Akimakesta. It's just the name. Okay. Why? Because I introduced concepts here. Okay. So now this concept can start from 8 down to 30 because your IP ranges from 0 to 32. You know, like I told you, it's dotted notation. Because there's dots in between. So I'll still get that correct name. Now, this last 24 is basically telling you that. So now come back to this down. It's telling you the amount of bits. Sharia was 101010101010. We call them bits. Bits.
24 bits.
Yes, bits. So the 8 of this one is bytes, which you must have heard before, where you have your megabytes. So now, at this level now, it's not looking at the bits that is out of your ones and zero, which ones are on, which ones are off. So now, because this has turned to be the name of the network, automatically 192.168 is a class C address because we have class A, we have class B, and we have class C. So because it's a class C address, there are certain numbers to legba. So you now say, oh, /24. So you're basically telling us that there are 24 bits.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Turn our figure on ye. This octet notation it's turn on see binary abi. This 192 is 1100. This 168 is this. Whatever that is there, no, but 55, you also get it in binary, right? But because of this one, 255, your 255 is 8 ones. So Timba sọ wípé 255 in binary. So 256 la wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn. Tó jẹ́ so you'll be so surprised the value of your 255. Look at your 255.
Police main one.
Everything. Right from the beginning to the end is 1111. So kí wá ní idea 255 here? The idea of the 255 is that there's no zero. Zero means empty, right?
Yes.
Then 1 means it's filled up, right? So they're basically telling you that there's no bits here. No, nothing is filled up. So the maximums you can get is in a bit is 255. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 255. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got on that on we are looking at subnet masking. After that, yes. Break network. So they are saying that we are no more using 192.168 more. No, what I mean is the name of the network, but you want to break this network. Get so to break this network, you introduce this stupid 255. It is called subnet masking, and the technology is known as VLSM, variable length subnet masking. That is under CIDR, which is classless inter-domain routing. Variable length
subnet masking.
Yes, variable length subnet masking. Masking is MASK. To mask. To mask is subnet masking. So now, all of a sudden, you are now left with this 0, right? You are left with this 0. So, of course, you have 8 zeros. So, which means that at the initials, the name of your network can be .10. Let's say .10.10. Sure you get. Let's say
yes.
.10.10. So if it is .10.10, we can look for. Then look for the so that when you convincing, you can be so sure of what we are doing. Okay, this guy has shown you the right thing. Because like I said, foundation really wants to get a foundation. So kill amalowa binary of 10, Abi?
Yes.
So what is the binary? 10 in binary. This is 10 in binary. This is 1010, right? So, but you now be wondering, instead of 8, 4 lily, right? So the idea of this one. Yeah. So that means somewhere here is as 1010. Abi?
Yes. But
the remaining will now be 0. 1,
0,
2,
0,
3,
0,
4. What's the event? 1, 0. No. Mistake. Sorry. Sorry. Kí lẹ fi kò yẹ kó jẹ́?
Ṣé the 255 yẹn?
No, 10 tí mo fẹ́ kàn ṣe. It will now be 0, 0, 0, 0. Then 1, 0, 1, 0. 10 lílé báyìí. Ṣèké 0 ni gbogbo tó wà wájú ẹ̀. 10 lílé. 0, 0, 0, 0. 1, 0, 1, 0. Ṣé rí tí mo bá kọ́ báyìí kọ́lẹ̀ kan yẹn, tá a bá kọ́ ní 1, 0, 1, 0, tá a bá lọ kó fi 0 mẹ́rin síwájú ẹ̀, ó lè 100 nìyẹn, ó ti di 100 nìyẹn. So we are no more looking at 10. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, it's now 100. It's now 100. It's like saying writing 10. Kí wọ́n sọ pé 0, 10, right? Or kí n kọ 10, kí wọ́n lọ gbé 0 sẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Yóò ti yé yín bẹ́ẹ̀. It's like that. So this is what we wanted to write. So no matter the number of zeros tó wà wájú báyìí, 10 lílé, 10 náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀. But in order to just fill the bits, we la ṣe ń fi 0 yẹn sí. So, but whether we like it or not, the subnet mask is saying is 25, is 25, is 25. So the subnet mark of this one is now 0, right?
Yes.
So in order not to, all of this is to explain to someone like you that want to know. That's why we go through all of this. But once you understand it now, we don't need to go through all this one again.
All this long process, okay.
The only thing you now go is the name of your hotel, the one in green, this IP address.
Okay.
So that's why we call it address. So if I say the name of your hotel, it can be an address now, right? So the idea now is once you look at the IP address, you say okay, 192.168.10.10. So this is the name of our network. Okay, the name of our network. Okay, /24. So what are they trying to do? Can you try /24? Sir, this is what they mean by /24. How many bits are on? Yeah. 8 plus 8.
16.
16 plus 8.
32.
Eh?
Sorry, 24.
24. So we thought this /24 and So how many bits are off?
8.
As you know, it has to equals 32, everything. Your 24 plus 8.
It's 32.
Yes. So now, the only thing that you need here is to, once you see /24, the only thing is to tell you, okay, there are number of, I have 24 bits on, and then the remaining off. So you can have 22, you can have /20, you can have /19, you can even have /8. If you have /8, that means all of these ones are off. You understand?
Yes.
So now what this is now saying is that, okay, now that I have /24 and 24 are on, so it means they cannot take anything. They are already complete. The bits are complete. Let's get there's a perfect bond. They are complete. So there's nothing they can't take anything. It's like a man that is married, in the context of marriage, a man and a wife. So they are complete. So someone that is single, so see these ones are single, so they have ability to take something inside them. You understand? That's why they are 0. That's why they are empty. There's nothing there, right? So, and we have 8 bits that are empty. So there's a formula we now use to calculate. So there's a formula we use to calculate this, to say, okay, now, Sherry, at this point, this becomes your network ID.
Network ID.
Then this becomes your host ID. In a host, the number of computers that can be joined to that network. Show you,
Yes, ma'am.
The number of computers that can be joined to that network. Okay. So now, how do you now calculate the number of computers that can be joined to your network? So for your network ID, there's nothing you can do. Everything is filled up, right? But for your host, it's telling you that, okay, Taba create networks, a company. How many computers do we have? How many, even in times zone, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, if there's need for us to grow, how many computers do we still need to accommodate? So this one calculates the host, that is the number of computers or machine that can join that network. So the machine includes your mobile phone, your phone, your tablet, any device, your desktop, your laptop, your printer, any device. So that's why they call it host. So that is hosted on that network. So now there's a simple formula. The formula simply says this number, which is 8,
Okay.
So it's the number, the formula is simply 2 raised to power 8 minus 2. 2 raised to power 8 minus 2. That's just the formula to calculate the number of machines or hosts. So you are basically saying 2 raised to power 8 because okay, 8 in the zeros to 1, the number of zeros, right?
Yeah.
So I get 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
Yes.
Then times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2.
4.
2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 4, 16.
16.
16. 16 times 16.
16 times 16. What's equal to?
What's equal to? 256.
256, yeah.
Minus 2.
254.
4 hosts. That is based on this, yes. That is based on this IP address now. Me looking at this IP address, it's /24. Forget the idea, it's just a name. It has nothing. It cannot collect YORUBA me. Check it. No matter once I see /24, what is break the network here. Check, you understand? So once you break network here, no matter how, even like could class A, could class A, could class B, could class C, network kò lè gbà ju how many kìíní lọ? 254 machines.
4 machines.
So the question now is, what happened to the 2 tayo kúrò ńbẹ̀? The question now is, by default, based on the lords of networking, àwọn tó create networking right from láyé Bambam, you must remove 1 for the network ID or for the network name. You will remove 1 for the network name. Maybe network ID. Then you now remove 1 for broadcast.
Okay.
If you have heard of broadcast before, it's called broadcast ID. So this is the idea of broadcast. Now, let's come home. Now remember, this 192.168 is the name of the network, right?
Yes. So
now replace this with Akimakesta Hotel. That's the name of the hotel, right? So when you enter Akimakesta Hotel is a big building. Don't forget that the name is Akimakesta Hotel and is an address. So it can be pointed to. You say, where are you? I'm Akimakesta Hotel. It's also street, and people will come and find you there, right? That's an address. Good. Because this is how this one too works, IP address. So inside Akimakesta Hotel, there are 256 buildings based on these calculations. I mean, sorry, 256 rooms based on these calculations. And you know that's quite a medium hotel. 256 rooms. Now, you now remove 2 rooms. Now, the first room is usually the manager's office, which is, of course, you are the manager, you are the owner. And then the last room is your staff room. Ejo, how many rooms are available for people to come and rent or book? 254.
254.
You understand? So that's how, because there's no way they can be doing function and the book 254 and somebody say, don't worry, just let me sleep at the manager's office. It's not done. Or is you understand? It's a standard hotel. So that's the idea. Now, you built the hotel in such a way that the manager's office, there's another room, that look like a lobby. So everybody has to pass through the lobby to the entrance.
Okay.
So that is called the gateway.
Oh, okay, gateway.
That is called the gateway. But is the gateway. So everybody has to pass through it. Right?
Yes.
But it's not a room that somebody can book and sleep in.
Yes.
So it's now the gateway, but everybody that want to go out of the hotel must pass through that lobby. True or false?
True.
Now, that gateway. So when you are inside the network, when you are inside the network like this, the network will always have a gateway.
Yeah.
So usually the gateway for this network in Bibaye will now be something like 192.168.10. Exactly, just 0. This is the name of the network now. .10.1. So the name of the network is 10.0. As it turns, it's 0. 10.0. So that means all this one will be 0, 0, right? 10.0.
Yes.
So now this is the gateway. Usually, ilé tó bá jẹ́ 1 yẹn ló máa ń jẹ́ gateway for ease of configuration. Kì í ṣe dandan ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ 1. My gateway can be 10.10. My gateway can be 10.100. Anything within the range of the 254. In fact, mo ti mọ àwọn tó máa ń fi gateway ṣe 254 ló máa fi ṣe gateway. Last one nínú IP ló máa lọ mú ló máa fi ṣe gateway. Shey you understand? But with the concept of the hotel now, you understand when I say gateway. So it means if now look at it, you are inside your hotel.
Yes.
256 rooms. Kò lè jẹ́ floor ẹyọkan.
Not at all.
You can have how many floors, whatever the floor is.
Please give me just like 5 minutes. Let me go pee. I want to pee.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
I need to pee. I think someone especially here. Look at outside. It's very bright at 8 o'clock. I said that someone is officially here. At 8 o'clock, it's still very bright. Okay, so I'm on today.
Okay, sir, you are back. Hello, sir. Hello.
Please send him upstairs, please. Hey, get 1 bottle of water. Please. Thank you. Patrick! You don't want cookie? Let me go to where I come and get cookie. Did he get up? Bring me about to go and get a cookie for you. The bag. Don't chop. Be quick now. Michael. Tell me about your water. What are you doing? What are you going on outside, man?
Are you back, sir?
Hey. They are all opportunists. Come here. Dan, go. Go to that place. Look at your eyes, very red. I'm not paying. Sit down there. Sit down there. So,
are you back?
So, now I'm here.
Okay. Ṣé ibi iṣẹ́ lẹ wà ní?
Ibi iṣẹ́ mo wà, mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́.
Okay, àti ibi iṣẹ́ máa ń gbọ́ ẹ̀rọ. Ṣé ẹ understand gbogbo networking jargon tá à ń sọ látàrí?
Ó yé mi. But the question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè ni pé now tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ́fíìsì àti tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́, are we going to be given the IP address or we have to generate it by ourselves?
Either you are being given or you are going to be generating. You must understand. When you're looking at an IP address, you must understand all these insecurities around them.
Oh, okay. So when I watch this, I make sure I watch it by tomorrow. About to send there.
So you must understand this because this one is how to break down your IP address. So you must understand the IP address and how they break them down. So with this one, I was just trying to use that hotel to explain the concept of the IP address within your network or virtual network for you. So now, because there are 254 or 253 rooms available now, you know, because we have used one for the gateway, and we said gateway is anybody that wants to go out of your hotel must pass through that gateway, right? Which is your lobby.
Yes.
Now, if let's say myself and my friends are lodged into that hotel and different floors, we can communicate. I can go through the staircase or the lifts to go and talk to them, right? Why? Because we are in the same
the company, same building.
Exactly. But if let's assume there's another hotel across, and I have somebody there, maybe another friend, If I need to reach out to that person, I need to come down and pass through the lobby.
Yes.
One way or the other, whatever security or any checks that need to be put on for the fact that okay, this person has checked in here and is going out. So we need to be sure that okay, maybe drop your key. You know, we are going out, you drop your key or your key card, and then you go your way. When you are coming back, you pick it up again. Though you are still checking to the hotel, but you don't go with your key, right? So all those things happen in the lobby, right? So which means one way or the other, there's a stamp that okay, so whatever that happens there, and then I'll now enter into the other hotel. They will also ask me some few questions to say, you know, something like that, and then I will be able to speak with the other person. One way or the other hotel too, we have its own gateway.
Yeah.
So see the other hotel as another network, as another virtual network or another network environment.
Okay.
So it means now
have different address.
Good thing, God bless you. So that other hotel can now have something like 172.168.20.1.
Yeah.
So the name of the address of that second hotel will now be this one. This one is your own. Okay. So it can also be /24. It can be /20. It can be /22. It can be depending on whatever the size of the hotel. Okay. Do you understand? So what determines the size of your hotel is your subnet. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because towards class B, this will now be, because class B, this will now be 255.255.0.0. Shall we instead of 255 meta, 255 méjì ló wà níbí.
Okay.
So how many bits will be on here? 8 plus 8.
8 plus 8, that is 16.
So basically, tó bá jẹ́ class B address ni wọ́n lò, tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí network wọn large. Do you know what they will usually use? The CIDR they will use now. Okay, / and CIDR. Hope you understand what CIDR is. So VLSM ló ń break VLSM yẹn ló máa break kìíní yẹn ó ní 255 or CIDR ó ní /. So only lè lo 16.
Yes, smaller.
So now look at this formula again. So it's basically calling red. So you are basically saying 2 raised to power 16, sir.
16.
Do you think that is a joke? So
it's a big hotel.
Yes. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you are looking at 16. So basically, you are looking at 256 times 256. Basically, you are looking at 65,536. 536 minus 2. Our just is 5,534. So you are talking about 65,000 computers to join a network. Is it not too much?
You are big, Once you are big, you are big.
So now imagine an hotel room that has 65,000 rooms. Would it be easy to manage? No. It will not be easy to manage. So that is why we now break down the network into subnets. We break it into the subnets. So with this one, I would, if you grab this understanding, because we calling any IP address, because to be sincere, it's Mo fi kọ yín dàgbò lè yẹn sápamọ́ sí. Ibo lè yẹn wá sápamọ́ sí kẹ. Okay. Okay, so I've explained all of this to you. Only say, did you screenshot this?
Not yet.
We're
I should
not going to
screenshot all this.
I think it will help you. Will you be able when you
So
watch
we
the
recorded
video?
it, Abi.
Yes, I'm recording it.
When I'm reading, I'll put it in my own time.
Okay. So now this is basically what I just explained.
Okay.
So look at it. This is your virtual network. Then there's a subnet, which means it has been broken into at least one or two networks. So then you have a machine inside. Then the machine has a NIC, right? Now what they are trying to say is that this machine can connect to another virtual network that is the same size here, the same kind of network here, maybe by or to your own premises, just like the way I do.
Yeah.
And let me ask you my first question. So if this network now need to speak to this on premises, what is the resources at the gate here? What is the name of the resources called that will help speak to an on premises?
The one that's where?
Now this network need to speak to this on premises network.
Okay.
So what are we going to put at the gate here or within this virtual network that will be able to? That's not load balancer.
Huh?
That's not load balancer.
Which one are you talking about? Wait now. Say it again. Don't go back. Just say it again. I don't understand your question.
Okay. So this network, this virtual network is in cloud. Then you need to speak to an on-premises network.
Oh, so you need to speak to an on-premise network. Kinini, virtual VPN. Gateway and VPN.
Okay, I will forgive you.
You said gateway. You said wait. Let me do it the way you do it. You said if you want to speak to an on-prem machine, it's the pipe. The pipe, the way you draw your pipe, you said is the virtual private network. Then the gateway is the one that allow access to this thing.
It's called virtual network gateway.
Okay, because I didn't say it in a technical term. I just say gateway.
But you have an idea. It's going to create a VPN, a virtual private network.
So it's the gateway that will create the VPN.
It's the gateway that will create that VPN.
Okay. He didn't say it like that
Again,
time now.
no matter benefit from your house, you try to dig a hole into maybe your friend's house, 10 blocks down. So nobody will know that there's a private hole, a tunnel from your house down to.
What you are eating, me, I want to eat it too.
It's beans. So.
Beans, alagbado.
Yeah,
I'm eating beans this night. Hey. Hey, ba.
You know, I'm always exhausting energy working. So.
Wow.
So your virtual network can be used in many ways. Let me use this. So your virtual network can be used in many ways. You can create a dedicated private cloud. You can use it to secure and extend your data center, like your VNet, like your gateway later select.
Okay.
So for that gateway now, you create what we call site to site. If you want your Azure to talk to a particular data center or your server room. Let's get scope, man.
Yes. So it's not gateway, it's virtual network gateway. I mean, virtual whatever gateway.
Then your virtual network also helps in creating hybrid environments.
Okay.
You know, just like your on-prem and
Mm-hmm. Enable hybrid cloud scenario. Which is screenshot Google.
Screenshot. That's it. Screenshot. So now read this one, sir. So
a virtual network can be segmented into one of more subnets. Subnet provide logical divisions within your network. So that can help improve security, increase performance, and make it easier to manage your network. Each subnet contains a range of IP addresses that fall within the virtual network address space. The range must be unique within the address space for the virtual network. This can overlap with other subnet address range within the network. The address space must be specific by using the classless. Okay, that's SCADA. Classless inter-domain routing notation. CADA.
So, can you want to add something?
So what they are trying to say is that a virtual network can be divided into one or more segments with logical division within a network. Subnet can improve security. So subnet can. So they are trying to. The first sentence, the first paragraph says, subnets help Walati do division within our network.
Yes.
To improve our security, increase performance, and make it easier to manage the network. Now, once of it, okay.
Diagram screenshot.
Yes.
Can you display it on your own screen to look at it?
Okay.
Network, machine, SQL.
Yeah.
Are you displaying that on your screen?
Yes.
So the big box is your virtual network, right? We divided it into 4, right?
Yes.
Then we have one part called backend. We have another one called front end. Then we have one for admin.
Admin and ops.
Now, I told you there was a place I said this is a traffic coming from the internet, right?
Yes.
And the one coming from internet is talking to a particular resources called web server.
Yes.
So that is for that organization, their website is maybe, let's call it e-commerce site. So because it's e-commerce, website, a lot of people must come there to come and because they want to buy and sell, right?
Yes.
But diagram here, our notice is they cannot talk directly to another subnet called backend.
Yes.
The only thing that can talk to what is at the backend is the web server that will now distribute that traffic using a load balancer. For example, if we have a lot of people, like 1,000 people at the same time, so you need to distribute it. So are you not seeing security in that thing I just said now?
You said?
I said, are you not seeing security in that thing I just said now?
Yeah, there's security because it blocks direct communication with the others.
Thank you. Increased performance. Clearly, just mention one thing that you think will have increased performance from that, and then I think just highest once.
The increased performance is the load balancer we use.
You are so brilliant. I'm happy. You understand now?
Yes.
So imagine if tab your diagram here, this thing will come to you like a sentence. But because you have a 3-dimensional diagram, a 2-dimensional diagram, you can be able to relate it. We are talking about security. I'm talking about security. We are not talking about bingo or Musa Ajido. So now you understand what you mean by security now. The access. When you talk about performance now, if you know so may looking at this thing will clear about load balancer. Then make it easier to manage your network. Of course, when you break into different groups, it will be easier to manage. So your subnet contains the next paragraph. Your subnet contains a range of IP address that falls within the virtual network address space. So the range must be unique within the address space for a virtual network. And in this range, they cannot overlap. So now, let's still looking at that diagram.
Yes.
So let's assume that this is the subnet. Okay, subnet mail diagram.
Yes.
So automatically, this subnet 0, subnet 1, subnet 2. You can call this one the subnet 0 the subnet
front end.
The front end, God bless you. The back end,
the admin, and the ops.
The ops.
Yeah.
So me looking at this portal, network, Azure engineer, you already know this subnet is talking to backend. So anybody that is working as database administrator, that is working as application administrator, it's normal one. Our resources in normal one. Front end, our web app, anything that can be put in at the front that even if it is attacked, its impact less minimal. Even if it is attacked, so impact less minimal. So your front end can be your CRM. I'm not going CRM. Our customer related management tools.
Okay.
Like DFM. Táwọn fi ń ṣe ticketing. Of man ticket, of man raise ticket, of man raise support, of man banks man low now, most IT companies man low for ticketing issue. Should get CRMs, like a Dynamics 365.
Okay.
So why? Because they are fronts. Those one can be put at the front, whereby customer can come and be complaining. So if customer come to complain about an issue or about or data, where do you think the data or that information they are provided will go? To go into a particular database. That database should not be what everybody will be having access to, because
go to the ops.
Of course, based, God bless you, cannot go to operations where those guys now begin to treat that issues. Exactly. So you can see now. So you can see now, our IP address here, it will drag me. So you see the name, then look at the IP address. So this is class A, but /24 of them.
Okay.
/24 of them. So because to /24, you can see that automatically okay, I need the available IPs under /24 is
256. Yeah.
256. According to Nkotajo Shesiba. 256. But Amayo Meji kúrò ńbẹ̀. Because of what? Network ID and broadcast ID.
Broadcast ID. Yeah.
This is on a physical network that is within your company, within your. But lórí Azure, sir. Azure as a platform, òun máa ń yọ márùn. Ó máa ń yọ márùn. They will remove 5. Ó ní nǹkan tó fi ń ṣe. So instead of 256, so 251s ni IP tó máa wà available for use. Bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn yé yín mẹ́rin.
What do you mean?
But ṣé mo pé on a physical network, ní physical companies, they have to remove this for network ID
and for broadcast ID. Yeah.
Broadcast ID means that if you want to shout out to everybody, for example, if your staff needs to address everybody in your hotel, wọ́n máa lọ sí ìdí public address system wọn.
Okay.
And they will speak up that that information they want to pass. Now imagine that the public address system is in the staff room. Ṣé rántí pé yàrá méjìlá yọ kúrò, the one for manager and then the one for the staff. So now just imagine that it's in the staff room. So the moment maybe there's something they want to pass across to everybody. Everybody go at the same time. Of course, you know those microphones, the one low in public address, the one low in secondary. You know, only imagine megaphone, but there's a way they just say low to it. The one low airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The one low airport. You know, when they start talking, everybody will have to listen. The one low miss the flight. You know that. So it got up in broadcast here. That is that image, that information at that moment, she like broadcast it. So everybody on the network. So if you are not in the hotel, you cannot receive that message. Because let's assume that in the public address system, when you share in such a way that in each room there's a tiny microphone or speaker, just tiny speaker. But once they start talking, everybody in their homes will hear that, oh, they wanted to pass an information.
Okay.
Can somebody outside hear it? No. So idea broadcast ID here. So it's saying that this particular ID, anytime someone send the same information on the network to everybody, ID here.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah, okay.
So usually, it might get .0. Like, let's say 10, the name of network, ON by 10 dots. 10.0. Network identity. Usually new, usually 10.255, which is the last one of the last one.
Yeah.
So the gateway ilé wa jẹ́ 1 or kó jẹ́ 254 depending on anyone that you want. You get the idea?
Yes.
So that is why you are seeing 251 here as the number of IP to one UI. So when you are now breaking this subnet, sir, can you see everyone to tell around?
Yes.
The first name, the main network is 10.0.0.0.
As well.
Then the
So
next one,
with 10.0.
the next subnet, 10.0.1.0. The next one, 10.1.2. Nǹkan tó mean by pé kò gbọdọ̀ overlap really.
Okay.
So nínú bíbá yìí sìn 250 IPs were available nígbà. So this one will now be the first IP. This one now, networking name .0.0 nígbà.
Okay.
The first IP will now be .0.1, .0.2, .3, .0.4, .0.250. After the back parí yẹn tán, a bọ́ sí 0.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 to 251. Ṣé a bọ́ ṣé ó ti yé mẹ́rin sá?
What you hear me?
So quickly read this so I can explain to you.
Service requirements. Each service directly deployed into virtual network. Each service directly deployed to national network has specific requirements for routing and the type of traffic that must be allowed in and out of subnets. Each service may require or create their own subnets, so there must be enough allocated space for them to do so. For example, if you connect a virtual network to an open network using Azure VPN gateway, the virtual network must serve a dedicated storage system for the gateway.
Look at it very well.
So this one is talking about what is allowed, what is allowed to the subnet.
The service that is allowed.
The service that is allowed, the traffic that is allowed to the subnet. So for a service, sometimes for a service to communicate with that subnet, you have to create its own subnet to talk or to connect to that subnet to allow it to pass through, so that soldier will not get.
These two.
Okay, they created their own subnet. Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's always going to be .30. Your gateway subnet will only be .3. And you already know, gateway subnet, you already know. This is the gateway. That is where your VPN, your gateway virtual network. When you want to use it now, you now deploy virtual gateway, that virtual network gateway. You might deploy it. You might create subnet ara ẹ̀. You might introduce any other subnet. Ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Why? Because ó fẹ́ improve security. Subnet wá improve security. Ibi tí mo ra wò ayé ara mi mo wà o. Ó lè ṣe wà yìí. You fẹ́ máa communicate directly sí data center or your server room tó wà physical. So ṣe rí nínú gateway nínú subnet yẹn sìn. Ẹ rí pé kò sí only available dependent on dynamic use. So wọ́n fún wa ní the amount of IP, but ọkọ tó ṣe ní pé /27 ló wà, which means it's a reduced number. It's a reduced number. So machine tẹ́ bá wá kó síbẹ̀, the machine will be the only machine that will be talking to anything tó wà ní data center or physical server.
Okay.
Just for example, if you connect a virtual network to an on-premises network using Azure VPN gateway, the virtual network must have a dedicated subnet, just like moving on Uniba. Okay, more. Yeah, this one.
Service endpoints can limit.
No, virtual appliances.
Oh, sorry, virtual appliances. Azure route network traffic between all subnets is a virtual network by default. You can override Azure default routing to prevent Azure routing between subnets, or to route traffic between subnet through a network or appliance. So if you require all the traffic between resources, if you acquire all the traffic between resources in the same virtual network through the same virtual network flow through a network virtual appliances MVA, deploy the resources to different subnets. Silly. No.
So normally, subnets wọ̀nyẹn, irú mẹ́rin tá create yẹn sìn, they can communicate to each other.
Yes.
So it's saying Azure route network traffic between all subnets. So within the virtual network, by default, we go you cannot decide to say, no, I don't want all of them to be talking to each other. For example, if that is the case, it means that your admin, and not subnet admin, and I begin to talk to your backend, which you might not want. So you get why? Yes. Because you have created different subnets. So what you now do is you now say, okay, I want all these communications to go through what we call virtual network virtual appliance. So also share here. Your service endpoint. You know, virtual network.
Okay.
No, ask your question.
No, I thought you asked me to read it, so I want to read.
Okay, you can read. Don't make any understanding.
You can limit access to Azure resources such as an Azure storage account to Azure SQL database to specific subnet with a virtual network service endpoint. Further, you can deny access to the network resources from the internet, and you won't create that. You won't create multiple subnet and enable a service endpoint for some subnet, but to others.
So the idea now here is just like Dragon communicate No, if you look at it, then you can limit access to your resources, such as.
What do you think about?
Our resources that limit access from the internet. So yes, it can be storage account, can be database. You got the database like
swallow what you have in what? Sorry, swallow everything. Let me see. Go wash your hand your mouth and come back here. I'll continue to be a uncle, man. Dude.
Like we.
Regurgitate today in J. God damn it.
So now you can see now your storage account or your SQL database can be put in a separate subnet. and then deny or limit access to them. Or you can now specify subnet with a virtual network service like endpoint. So endpoint here ni pé, okay, oh, this particular subnet, so mo fẹ́ kó máa bá this particular resources sọ̀rọ̀. So that resources become an endpoint. Tẹ́ ẹ bá wo dragon tí mo yà fún ilé kan yẹn, lára àwọn tó wà ní ops àti communication yẹn kó lọ sí backend àbí.
Nonsense pẹ̀lú mi. Ó pè é máa nínú sí. À ń gbọ́ mo ti dé padà.
Ok. Ṣé wọ́n fún yín wàhálà báyìí?
Ó nìkan náà ni. Níbi gọdítéètì náà.
Ok.
Ga o. Ẹ̀kan náà mo bá ṣiṣẹ́.
Ok, èèyàn kan péré ni.
It's I can get out of this place. Can't wait to my
Okay, so if you look at it now, iṣẹ́ service endpoints nìyẹn. So tẹ́ bá wo diagram tí mo fún yín yẹn, ẹ rí i pé we have some services from our operations, subnet operation that are talking to the backend.
Yes.
So our service endpoints nìyẹn sìn. That is the only end that can point directly to the service that we are taking. Then we have network security group.
Yeah, yes.
So you can associate zero or network security group to each subnet in a virtual network. So you can associate the same or different network security to each subnet. So the idea is this. Cherry network security group is also a service, but it comes directly with your virtual machine. But this one too, you can specify some instructions and put it on the edge of your subnet. Ṣé mo pé subnet mẹ́rìnlá ní, àbí?
Yes.
So if you decide to use network security group on each subnet, how many NSG are we going to have?
20. I didn't have a question very well.
So in our diagram we have 4 subnets.
Okay, we have 25. 4 subnets, yes.
So
we have
if you decide to use our NSG,
okay,
how many NSG do you think we will use?
NSG
for each subnet?
We have 254 no subnet, yeah, 254, no 250. 250. You said they take 5. You said they take 5 for 251.
Exactly. All right. So now look at your notes. It said there are restrictions on IP addressing. IP reserves 5 IP addresses. Azure reserves 5 IP with each subnet. So if you want 5 only, the first one is your network address. The next 2 is your reserve by IP for the default gateway. Default gateway any gateway tí mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn. Ṣé rí pé normally ó ti lọ yọ 1, ẹ rí pé 1 ló lò níbàyí fún gateway. Dot 1 ló lò níbàyí. Ó wá lo 2 and 3 fún Azure DNS, which is better because lè máa configure DNS fúnra yín nígbà all the time. So ó ti bá yín ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ̀. Then 255 fún kí ló lò fún?
Network broadcast address, yeah.
You understand? So as you can see, so create virtual network. Please read.
That's our project, Abby. You can create new virtual network at any time. You can also add virtual network when you create virtual machine. Either way, you will need to define the address space and at least one subnet.
Okay. So you understand what I'm saying? This is how to just create your virtual machine. There's nothing to limit by. So, but you must have planned your IP and all of that. Okay. So go ahead, read the IP addressing.
VNet on-premise or on-premises IP. You can assign IP address to Azure resources to communicate with other Azure resources, your on-prem network and the internet. There are two types of Azure IP address, public and private IP addresses.
So what's the difference between the public IP and the private IP? What's the difference?
I think the private one is within a network, while the public one is the one that communicate from outside to the inside. That's the internet outside internet to the virtual machine.
Exactly, you are right. You are right. So can you say anything about static and dynamic addressing?
If you want to read it, or can I say anything?
Which one is that?
You say, can I say anything on it?
Yeah, between your static and dynamic addressing, what does it mean?
With the name now, the static is stagnant. Hey, what the fuck is that? The static is cannot be changed. I mean, it cannot be changed. It's the same.
Okay.
And then the dynamic is the one that is
changing.
assigned and is changing. Just like when you create a new subnet, if you delete it, you're gonna have another IP for that subnet again.
Yeah. So this is how you create your public IP. You can pick your version. You know which one you prefer. So if you look at this one, associate. Okay, so I really want you to master this thing.
Okay.
For more important, so that you know, associate public IP address. That is sharing our public IP address. You know, of course, this one is anything that is coming from the internet. But there are, if you look at the four this thing, there are four services to get pay or the IP address. But see the way they are. Can you make it dynamic or stress? So the first one is the virtual machine. Where is your IP, public IP attached to? It's attached to your NIC. Your load balancer, where is it attached to? Attached to the front end configuration. Because there's a back end configuration. You understand? VPN gateway.
Yeah.
You know, you have gateway IP configuration. Then application gateway, front end. So you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's keep this one.
Patrick, sit down.
So the same thing with your private IP, which is the internal one. So you can attach it to your NIC in virtual machine. Then you can attach to your internal load balancer. Ṣé rí pé ó yàtọ̀ sí external.
Internal load balancer for test configuration. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's both dynamic and statics.
So read this one. A private IP address is allocated.
A private IP address is allocated from the address range of the virtual network subnet. A resource is deployed in
So, sir. Hello.
So that is the private. That is the private IP address is generated from the range that is allocated within the virtual network.
Okay. So the difference between your dynamic and static.
Azure assign the next available unassigned or reserve IP or reserve IP address to the subnet address range. For example, Azure assign 10.0.0.10 to a new resource if addresses 10.0.0.4 to 10.0.0.9 are already assigned to other resources. Dynamic is the default allocation method.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. So from tomorrow, we'll begin to create virtual network. Because this is almost 2:30 Nigerian time. So
Yeah.
advanced. So tomorrow we'll start from there. We'll start creating the action. We've learned the theory. We now create the action. So before you go, let's do our knowledge check. It's just 3 questions.
Okay. Your company has implemented firewall rules to deny traffic based on IP address range in this situation. What should you do? You have created the firewall to deny traffic based on IP range. Use dynamically assigned IP address. Use statically assigned IP addresses. Use IP addresses in the reserved range. You have to use the deny traffic based if on IP address range. You use addresses that is within the range.
So which one are you picking?
I've separated firewalls and firewall rule to deny traffic based on IP addresses. So you have to use IP that is within that range, because if it's changed, any IP that is not within that range will not be allowed to pass through, and that's what the firewall is created to do. So you have to use the IP address that is within the range. So C is the answer.
Okay.
Ooh.
I knew it. I was saying we should use the IP address that will not change even in that situation. I was saying it in my head. I was thinking you were getting it.
Okay.
Monitor there.
Yes.
Èmi kẹ mo wà ń bí o mi tí mi ò ní mo ṣe mú red button tí ò ní jẹ́ ìsìn tí mo lè kàwé mọ́jọ́ pàápàá.
You are planning your Azure network implementation to support your company migration to Azure. Your first task is to prepare for the deployment of the first set of virtual machines. For this machine, consumers on the internet must be able to communicate directly within the web application and the VMs. Also, the IP communication must be zone redundant. You should minimize costs whenever possible while still meeting the requirement. What should you do? Select one. Don't hit your leg on the head. If you hit your head, I will not even say sorry. Create a standard public address during the creation of the first VM access. Create young couple. You are planning your Azure network implementation to support your company's migration to Azure. The first task is to prepare for the deployment of the first set of virtual machines. For this machine, consumers on the internet must be able to communicate directly with the web application. Okay, that's first one is the first web application. That's first. That is one of the subnets web application. Also, the IP population will be zone redundant. You should minimize costs as well. While still meeting the requirement, what should you do? Create a standard IP, public IP address during the creation of the first machine. Update the IP address with the VM NIC. Create a standard public IP address after the first VM is created. Move the IP address and assign the public address to the NIC. Create a basic public address during the creation of the VM. Shared public address with the machine. Create a basic public address during the creation of the first VM. Associate the IP address with the VM. This machine was work on the internet must be able to communicate directly with the web application. So that means you must be allowed to go in. So you have to use public IP.
This answer is somehow. I know we have to create a public IP address.
You have to create a public IP, yes. You cannot use private IP.
Exactly. So during the creation of the first VM, do we remove the private IP? That's where I'm confused.
If you
or we will now associate it. So if we remove the private IP, then we will now associate it again with the
private IP. It's automatically assigned. It comes with the machine.
It is okay.
Once you have private IP.
So which means look at it now. The second
is between the A and C.
The A and C. So wait, let's read it again.
Standard. I think you have to create because to minimize the cost. To minimize the cost, if you create a standard public IP.
Let's choose. No, sorry, I choose you.
I'll choose C.
I'll choose C too. I'll just
because
I'll choose C.
You're
planning your Azure network implementation to support your migration. So your first task now as a cloud engineer is to prepare for the deployment of the first set of VM. Never even deploy them, they are just preparing. So for this machine, consumer on the internet must be able to communicate directly with the web app on the VM. Okay, also, so which means that the NIC has to be open. Also, the IP configuration must be zone redundant. What is zone redundant? Because there are two types of IP config. You have the basic, you have the standard.
The standard, yeah.
So only the one that is standard can give you zone redundant.
So that means it's
so that was why I was asking you to master that thing I showed you. So you should minimize cost whenever possible while still meeting the requirement. So what should you do? So you still have to minimize cost. Number one, you should know that creating a basic IP address is out of it. Your C is out of it. Because you want an IP configuration as zone redundant, it has to be a standard public IP address.
So it's with A.
Other Wumi.
C is the answer.
Don't try and confuse us now. So just give answer. Let's not.
I'm still going to with C.
Associate the public IP with the VM network interface. Okay, let's just answer no the answer.
But I said you cannot create basic IP, public IP because you want
the zone redundant.
To be zone redundant. So your basic doesn't give you zone redundant. In fact, if you want to create gateway gateway, virtual network gateway. If you don't have standard, you can't even create it.
Budget.
You understand? Then number
gonna
two,
write your name.
now even though this one has create standard public IP, though this one has it,
Danny.
can't remove private IP address. It's default. You can't remove it. In as much as it's inside the virtual network, yeah, it has to be there. You have to give it that name. Out. So the answer should be
A.
so nobody will go for AI. As you can see, it's correct. The backbone, the thing that top the whole thing is this one redundant IP.
So me, I'm thinking that it's the zone redundant that is there because I'm thinking that having a standard public address will chop more money.
No, it will chop more money. Yes, it will chop more money. It will chop more money.
Okay, so lẹ́yìn ṣá odò méjì olódò dàbàtà àwáṣà network ilé gbọ́dọ̀ lọ jókòó sí báyìí tí máa ṣe tán.
I'm telling you, in fact.
You have a virtual machine with two NIC named NIC1, NIC2. NIC1 is connected to the 10.108 0/24 subnet. It's connected to 24 subnet. 10.20. You plan enable direct communication from the internet to the TC port of 443. Port 443 is okay. You would like to maintain existing communication across the two subnets. To support the new functionality and keep things simple, what should you do? Select one. Number one, private IP cannot be removed. So you need to now.
Okay.
Associate the public IP to S1 and create an inbound security rule. Create an inbound security rule for. Okay. The really one, you know, Amazon. You can give them rule to allow a certain associate the public IP address to S1 and create an inbound security rule. But they should be able to communicate. Create an inbound security rule for TCP port 443. So port 443 should allow inbound. Allow. I think the answer is system code 10.8, 10, 10.8, 10.8, 20.8. So becoming a schedule. This is a public IP address to create an inbound security rule. Allow this setting or open ports 443. Ah! You open port 443.
You have a VM with two nickname economy. So economy connected to the 10.8.0. /24 It is connected to the plan enable direct communication from the internet to TCP port 443. You would like to maintain a system completion. One question virtual networking. Only God will help somebody.
Tèmi wò ni pé
Remove the
if you open port 443, if you open port 443, then you create a security rule for that does not actually compromise your security once you give a security rule. Allow port 443, open port 443 allow certain IP address to come in. But associate public IP address. This is actually they already have a public IP address now. I mean, to the subnet one here. So I think I will create inbound security rule for TCP port 443.
Which one?
Associate to public address. I'll pick C. I'll create a rule and open port 443 to allow them to be able to communicate. C.
Let me help you to think this over. So you have a VM with two NIC, name NIC 1 and NIC 2. So NIC 1 is connected to this network, to this subnet, and NIC 2 is connected to another subnet. Is this subnet overlapping? You can see that it's not overlapping. This is 10.10.8.
10.10, yeah.
This is 10.20.8. You understand?
That's
so
true.
you plan to enable like a direct communication from the internet to TCP port 443. You would like to maintain. There are two subnets now. They are not supposed to be talking to themselves. We would like to maintain existing communication across this network and this subnet and this subnet. So to support the new functionality and keep things simple, what would you do? Remove the private IP address from NIC 2 and then assign. You can't remove private IP, you already know that. Associate a public IP address to NIC 2 and create an inbound security rule. Create an inbound security rule for TCP. So which one are you going for?
I went for C because port 443 was port that open to allow them to communicate with each other.
Yes.
So port 443
is beyond for 443 this time around.
You said it's beyond for 443.
Yeah, because you said you plan the direct, and so you already, it shows that you're going to open for 443 here. So
That's
whether you
what I'm
like
saying.
it or not, the two NIC as for 443
opened already. So I'll create security rule to allow for certain. I'll create security rule for port 443.
Okay.
That's what I'll do. Motushi.
Uncle funny, any Motushi.
Àti Wùmí nìkan ló máa ń ká scope bí ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ tí ká scope.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo explanation to give ẹ dákun.
Copy them.
Wọ́n sálẹ̀. You must have a public IP address. So public IP address is what I need. So why can't I create security rule for ports? Port 443.
You don't understand. You are not on your NIC here by when it is virtual machine.
Yeah.
You are not going to open that port. You open a port called port 3389.
Wait, like butter.
So the port 3389 we allow
you're gonna enjoy yourself for real.
Traffic and UDP traffic to go over it. What kàn fi port 443? What kàn fi dá yín lójú ni? Understand? What kàn fi dá yín lójú ni? But the fact that you open a port 443, just telling you that that TCP can travel on it, UDP can travel on it. You understand? So 443 means that it is an HTTP traffic. So that's a web server.
Yes. So HTTP
but because
and
they mentioned
HTTPS.
Because they mentioned VM, to talk to your VM, is either you must talk to your VM using your RDP or SSH.
SSH, open SSH, okay.
You understand? So if it's
So for them,
SSH. So what they are just trying to say here is very simple. Is that architecture. Kini diagram here only the first diagram to one be by the.
Oh, I don't want to see public address. Come on.
Remember this diagram.
Okay.
So, but this is two virtual machines with two different links. Do you understand? So,
okay.
in that scenario, there's only one virtual machine, but the NIC is attached to two different subnets.
Okay.
So, which means a part of it can be blocked, a part of it can be open. So, they are now saying that if you want the communication to be straightforward, what will you do? Just put public IP over the internet, your TCP will flow in.
Okay, so one quick question. So, okay, now I've seen why the question I want to ask I was already there. I was asking to see that won't it compromise the security, but you have to give a security rule. Now I understand. Because if you put public IP,
it's not compromising any security something. That is why the question says you are planning. Look at the question. The question says you have this, Abby, and it's connected. You plan to enable this. It is what you want. It is what your organization wants that you want to do. Do you understand? You must come from the aspect of you're not going to be arguing everything. It has to be secure. No, there are some things that you open that you
understand now. It's within the
so
it's within the
you are
same
the one that is planning that Sherry subnet you. These two subnets, so the virtual machine in between them must be able to talk to each other. So there's something I was telling Madam me. I've always told her when you are dealing with questions, learn to split them apart and understand the concept one after the other before you now go to the answer. Because iṣẹ́ ọpọlọ ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Okay, so tó bá dọ̀la, by the grace of God, we'll do the.
Professor, we'll meet in the morning. No time ole manji. Time ole manji ready.
Màtí wàá bí ṣe ń wà ẹ́. Because kẹ́yìn tó jí, it's be like Nigeria. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kàwé mọ́jú ni?
Mo máa wà ẹ máa wẹ̀rẹ̀. Just give me time. Tẹ̀mátì jí màmá wo Nigerian time. Time tẹ̀mátì wà ní the computer.
That will be 8 p.m. Nigerian, 8 a.m. Nigerian time.
Okay. Nigerian time is 3 a.m. here.
Trust me, I'll probably sleep and wake up by that time. I'll coco set alarm this time. I'll share it to
sleep. It's better you go and sleep then because
I don't want to sleep. I beg you. I have to
what I will do for you, let me tell you the secret I will use for you. I will just send you a WhatsApp chat. I am available. Once I know that you don't reply like this, I know you are sleeping. I will not even call you.
Yeah.
That's the secret I will use for you in order to avoid that your money class.
Okay. Avoid waiting. I'll be awake.
Hey, Joe, bros.
Yes.
Send the download there so that I want to this virtual network OTD. I need to watch it before